What's up, everyone? I'm CEO Connolly, and today I got my proof in for City of Disciples yesterday. So, if you haven't seen yet, this is my Disciples Doctrine. It is very, very small. It is 120 pages of just basically telling you not to be an asshole. Everyone is created equal, and all disciples are treated equally. So that's what this is. It's basically the story of the leader and how he got his start. So that's how that works out. Now, here is City of Disciples. I think the cover came out way better than I was expecting it to, because like this right here is just a group of bricks. It's like maybe this big, and I just put it all together so it would look like a wall. And then you've got like their little entrance where they come in to the city. So I wanted to make it that way. I thought that was really nice. And then on the side, it has the number 1. So you know where the, first book is. And then on the back, of course, I have it listed here as well. So you've got the Cult Bible, which is the Disciples' Doctrine, and then each book 1, 2, 3, and 4. So City of Disciples is the first one. Shunning of Disciples is the second one. Then there's Mutiny of Disciples, and then Disbanding of Disciples. So Shunning of Disciples is actually with my beta readers right now. And that's because I am ahead of schedule, and I am actually editing book 3 and 4. Technically, I'm editing book 3, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I'll go straight into book 4. And I should be able to get those edits done by the time I get back my edits for Shunning of Disciples, which is book 2. I should be able to get that one back, or I should be able to get done with editing 3 and 4 by the time I get the beta reader edits back. So yay for that. And I have a stock of City of Disciples coming to me for the Houston Horror Film Fest, which is in August. I believe it is August 11th, 12th, and 13th. Yes, it is. It is August 11th, 12th, and 13th is Houston Horror Film Fest. I'm really excited for that one because Christy Swanson's going to be there. Tara Reid is supposed to be there too, so that's kind of nice. I know there's a lot more, but stuff has happened. I haven't really been paying attention much. I don't know if I've said anything on YouTube, but I know I've said stuff on TikTok about the fact that my cat recently passed away. So she's gone. We do have her outside. So if you go look at my TikTok, you can actually see the little setup that I have for her. We gave her a little burial and everything outside on the property. So she's out there. She's got her own little setup, and little headstone, and a little bird, and all that other stuff. But she is set up out there, so you can see that on my TikTok. But so I had a little snafu. So I took an entire week off from doing anything at all because I could not keep myself together. Unfortunately, I legit didn't know what I was going to do. It is so quiet in the house without my cat. She was 19 and a half years old. And we got her when she was 12 weeks old. We got her from CAPS, which is Citizens for Animal Protection, something like that. It's a shelter. And when we went in there, there were these 3 kittens, these little bitty kittens inside this one cage. And there were 2 right at the door, an orange tabby and a gray tabby. And then there was one little calico kitten way in the back trying to stay hidden in the back. And I was like, I want her back there. That's the one I want. And of course, we managed to get there when they first opened. My husband went and grabbed somebody and they were like, okay, let's do this now. So we got her. It was kind of sad how she got her start. Like apparently they found a trash bag in front of their door when they opened one day, and there were 6 kittens. Yeah, there were 6 kittens inside that bag, and only 3 of them were alive. So poor baby. She did not have a very good start to her life, but she was spoiled as all hell in our house. And the funny thing is that there was quite a while where my parents were like, do you actually have a cat? And I was like, no, we just bought a scratch post and a litter box and stuff for the cat. She'd hide. She did not like strangers. She never liked going outside. She was completely just terrified of everything. There was one time it was so cute. So when we lived in our house in a neighborhood, she had her own little windowsill that she would sit in. And she was laying up there, no big deal. Next thing you know, she falls out of this windowsill and starts screaming. And she just got her paws on the windowsill, poking her little eyes over, screaming as loud as she possibly can. And I go over there to look, and I'm like, what are you looking at? There was a cat. Another cat was on the fence between our house and the neighbor's house. So I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I opened the door, scared off the other cat. And as soon as I came back inside, she's back in the window like nothing ever happened. She was scared of everything. I'm sorry, but it was kind of cute. But she was so vocal. And I got to have nice little conversations with her. And she'd always come up and she'd let me give her little kisses on her nose. Well, now she's hanging out in that spot. Normally my cat would be back there, but now she's in that spot. So yeah. So that's that. Kitty's gone. It's kind of quiet around here. I still think sometimes that I can see her out of the corner of my eye, like she's kind of here, in spirit type of thing. And I don't believe in ghosts. I've always thought that those little haunting videos and stuff like that, they're all faked, right? So I don't really believe in ghosts, but I kind of have this sense that maybe she's here, but until it materializes and I see a little ghost cat, I'm just going to pretend like, I'm just going to chalk it up to the fact that it's because I'm used to her, because it's been like almost 20 years. So I'm so used to her being there that I keep thinking I can see her. Sometimes I feel like I can hear her, but I know that that's like that weird thing that whenever you're at work and the phone rings constantly, but yet whenever you're at home, you keep thinking you can hear the work phone ring, even though there's no phone that sounds like that in the house. That's what I'm going to chalk that up to. It's because I'm used to hearing her. So I think I can hear her. The dogs, sometimes I feel like maybe the dogs can see her, because you know how they say dogs can see ghosts? I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm on the fence about this. Until a ghost shoves me, I'm not going to believe in ghosts. I don't know. But there are some times where the dogs, they'll come out, and like whenever we come out of the bedroom in the mornings, my big dog Layla, she used to run to the laundry room, just because that's where the cat Valentine always was. She was always in the laundry room. So Layla would run back that way. Well, after a couple of days, when she would run back there to try to find Valentine and realize that Valentine's not back there, she stopped doing that. And then there was one day she comes out of the room real slow, stops for a second, and then runs back into the laundry room. And she's back there for a few minutes, like she's looking around trying to figure out, what happened, where did she go? So that's the only thing that I can think of, is that maybe she's still here kind of in spirit and the dogs can kind of see her and stuff like that. But I don't know. I keep thinking I can see her out of the corner of my eye, but I'm not positive. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I feel like it's just because I'm used to her being here. So I keep thinking maybe I can see her. Sorry. See, that's what I'm talking about. You kind of get a glimpse and you think I can see her, but because I can see the laundry room from here, like the opening. So if I catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Just that little, because they always say that you can see ghosts out of the corner of your eye, but as soon as you look, there's nobody there. Either way, whatever. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to give that little rundown. My kitty passed away, so it was kind of sad. I feel like there's a hair touching my arm. So it was kind of sad. So I took an entire week off while I was in the process of editing my Mutiny of Disciples. Apparently my brain stopped working when I started talking about my kitty. So I took a week off while I had just started editing Mutiny of Disciples. But Shunning of Disciples went to my beta readers. It was a few days late, but that was because I was dealing with some stuff. So anyway, but it is with the beta readers right now. So thank God for that. City of Disciples, I do have a big stock headed this way. Disciples Doctrine, I have stock for this one already ready for Houston Horror Film Fest. I've got a stock of all my other books ready for Houston Horror Film Fest. So I am so ready. City of Disciples is ready to be purchased. You can get that from all the third-party websites, Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Target.com, all those other places. You can actually Google it, and I'm pretty sure all that'll pop up. I know that you can Google C.L. Connolly, and all of that will pop up as well. Most of my books and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm trying to get everything published. Like Shunning of Disciples should be published by the end of this year. I'm hoping for October. That's my plan. I'm hoping for October, no later than November. Because if I end up getting everything on schedule the way that I have it set up, in the same sense that I was able to do for City of Disciples, if I'm able to do the same for Shunning of Disciples, I should be able to get it published by October, most likely about early to mid October, no later than November. That's the plan. With Mutiny of Disciples, I want it to be February, hopefully, but it may end up being March. And that I'm giving myself a grace period. And that's only because of holidays coming up, trying to get it back for my beta readers and stuff like that. I want to at least give them time to get, through the holidays and get it back to me and stuff like that. And then with Disbanding of Disciples, that one is going to be sometime in the summer. I'm hoping July/August. And of course, I'm pushing a little further because by that time I'll have edited Roadkill Cafe. And I know some people have been looking forward to Roadkill Cafe because, yes. But Roadkill Cafe is not on plan to be published until 2025. So there's that. But I do have several books that are en route to be written, and they're going to be here and there to be published and stuff like that. I have a holiday series, which is 12 books, and I want to be able to publish that in the same year. So January, February, March, I'm going to have one book published each month. That's my plan. So I do have set up to where there's going to be 30 books that should be published by 2030. Not that I'm going to publish 30 books, but I will have 30 books published. That includes the ones that I already have published. That includes these and my Affair series and Friendly Misfortunes, Killer Suburbia. That includes all of those. So I'll end up having 30 books published. I have several single titles that are going out, including a collection of short stories that I do plan on having that go out. That originally started, my short stories originally started as like a poetry thing. I didn't care for it too much and thought it would come out better as short stories. So that's where that one's going now. So I'm going to take everything that I have written out as like the poems and just turn it directly into short stories. And I have to make sure that each one of these short stories is 10,000 words or less. Because I have a habit of overdoing it just a little bit. I've never been able to write a short story. Never been able to write a short story. There used to be these short story contests like, 2,500 words or less. Can't do it. I have too much to put in. I cannot do it in that little time. So my poetry book has now turned into a short story collection, and that's where that's going to go. So yay for that. I'm okay with that. But this one, as a matter of fact, so City of Disciples, as a matter of fact, is like my thickest book, which I have noticed. It is the thickest book. I thought it had something to do with the pages, like maybe because this is different paper. This is that ground wood. So it's supposed to be more like an actual book, which I don't have one here with me. But these are supposed to be more like the actual pages and stuff like that, rather than what's in my other books, because they only had like this softness. But I have groundwood in Killer Suburbia. This one I did white on purpose because it's supposed to be like a different type of book, because it is the Disciples' Bible. So the Disciples' Doctrine. That's the only reason why I did the pages in the white, because it is a completely different type of book. So I wanted to change it that way. This, as a matter of fact, is the same exact size as my Affair series. So every series is going to be this size. My single titles are going to be just slightly smaller than this, just like my Killer Suburbia and Friendly Misfortunes are. This is purposely meant to be teeny tiny because it's just the Bible. Like, why do you need to have a big, thick Bible, right? I don't know. Anyway, that's just how I thought about it. So, but most of the Disciples novels are going to be pretty big, and I have the number on there. I'm going to make sure I point this out. So I'm going to have the number on there so that everybody knows what order it goes in, because I know that with my Affair series, a lot of people ask what order is it supposed to be read in. There is a trick to be able to tell exactly what order the books are in. So I do have them all listed here on in the front page of every single one of my books. They are listed in the also written by type of thing, right? Forbidden Affair is the only one that doesn't have this page. It might, but it might only have Forbidden Affair on it. So you'll be able to tell because each one of the books themselves will have the book listed along with everything before it. So you'll be able to tell exactly what order they go in. And that's always right in the beginning. So I do have that all listed. And I know that Friendly Misfortunes, I think, only has Forbidden Affair listed. But you have to remember, Friendly Misfortunes and Forbidden Affair are my first 2 books. So they're going to have the least amount. And the more and more I publish, the longer and longer that list gets, because this list is getting big. Now, I do also have listed in here too, like what the next book is here and when it's supposed to be published. And that's just to help everyone else out. So whenever they go, oh my God, when's the next one coming out? There it is, kind of thing. And I did not have titles to these books for the longest time. This was just Disciples Book 1. As a matter of fact, I think it was Cult. I think it was Cult Series Book 1, I think is what it was at first. So they were all like Cult Series Book 1, Cult Series Book 2. I didn't have titles. And it wasn't until I was actually able to title this one, and then I started realizing what each book was about, that I was like, I got it. I got these titles. It's perfect. I know exactly what they are. So that's how I managed to do that. And I was like, thank God, because I really wanted to be able to list them. And I managed to list them on the back as well. So you can see them all in the back there. And then, of course, it's got the little synopsis back here for what this book is about. And then I mentioned down at the bottom, it says, find out in shunning of disciples if the leader was able to get away with hiding all the bodies. So that's basically like the caveat to go into the next one. It's like, ooh, kind of thing. So, but that is all I have for you today. Just wanted to show you my new book. I'm so excited. I do have stock for all of my books, so that for Houston Horror Film Fest, August 11th, 12th, and 13th, I will have stock for everything. Just keep in mind, I bring a very limited stock with me when I go to these places, because I don't want to take a whole bunch back. So I do have a limited stock, but that's okay. Come buy them all, invite all your friends, buy my books. You can even get them at my website, which is also going to be listed below. All of my social medias are going to be listed below. All of my books are listed below, and my website is listed below. So you can purchase off my website. If you purchase from my website, they are cheaper on my website than they are on the third party, but that's because the third party websites want more money out of the author and will only give you just that little royalty. Whereas from my website, I don't have to charge that much because I get it all. So there's that. So they are cheaper on my website than they are on the third-party websites. But also, if you get from my website, you will have a signed copy shipped to you. And I like to wrap them up like little presents. So no matter how many you order, each one is wrapped individually as a present. And it's like opening a new present every time you have a new book. So that's how that is. It's a personal touch. And there's always a thank you card in there, only because I don't know. I think it's fun. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. Just wanted to get a little video out there before Houston Horror Film Fest comes up in August. I do have stock. It's ready to be shipped out. It'll be signed, personalized, everything. Or you can come see me in person and get one at Houston Horror Film Fest. Can I say that another time? Sure, I can. Houston Horror Film Fest, August 11th, 12th, and 13th of this year, which is next month, mind you. So we only have just a few more days. A few more weeks. A few more weeks. It's like 3 weeks. Ooh, it's 3 weeks. Yikes. Anyway, well, that's it. That's all I have. So hopefully I'll see you at Houston Horror Film Fest. There's another one for you. And otherwise, you can order from my website, third-party websites, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, all those .coms. And yeah, Okay. See you next time. Bye.